Hi students, how are you all? Yes, today we are going to start with preservatives. See some food additives we have seen in the last video. So followed by preservatives. So preservative means we know that. So we can prevent spoilage of food. Okay. So we can preserve for some times to keep sometimes the food without spoiling the food. Okay, so for that we need to add some chemicals as a preservative. Yes, see what is the reaction which is doing in this food means that is nothing but which inhibit or retards the growth of bacterial or yeast. Okay, some microorganism, how they are inhibiting in the sense, see, which are controlling or stopping the fermentation. See, very important, how the food becoming waste or a spoilage food because of these reactions, fermentation and the decomposition, and also oxidation sometimes. See, decomposition, acidification, mainly because of these reactions, this food becoming spoiled. Okay, so we can prevent the spoilage of food by adding some chemicals. They are called preservatives. Why these reactions are takes place in the food? Because of growth of that microorganism. So when the growth of microorganism takes place, this reaction will take place. Because of this reaction, food will spoil. So we have to prevent this reaction by adding some chemicals. They are called preservatives. Some preservatives we know that, particularly some organic acids like benzoic acid, sorbic acid. Benzoic acid, sorbic acid, like organic acids are used as a preservative, but some other preservatives also we will see now, because in different food we are using the different preservatives. For example, we can see alkyl ester of hydroxyl acetate, alkyl ester. So ester with some alkyl group with hydroxybenzoic acid. See, you have to remember all the naming system, right? Then only you can remember. See, benzoic acid with one hydroxy group. In that we have some ester formation. That means we may have some CH3 like alkyl group. Like this structure, alkyl, this is alkyl group. Ester, we have the ester formation, hydroxybenzoic acid. This is hydroxybenzoic acid. So this kind or this like structure compounds, structured compounds are mainly giving the more effectiveness for preservation of food. Okay, right. Some more well-known preservative, acetic acid. If I say another name, vinegar, that is the main preservative for pickles. Then sodium metasulfide, sodium metasulfide, also one of the preservative here, which is used for fresh fruits and vegetables. If you want to preserve fresh fruits and vegetables, you can use this preservative. And then some sucrose esters. Sucrose, we know that in the biomolecule itself we have studied. With the ester formation of sucrose with palmitic acid, also one of the important preservative of food. What type of food it can be means, it is used as a emulsifier. What do you mean emulsifier? See, emulsifier is nothing but it will maintain the constant, or it will prevent the reaction between the two different phase. For example, liquid, solid. Okay, so it may have stability to retain their reactions, or it can retard the reaction by making the different layer. So that is called emulsifier. See, emulsion, you may remember in the paints, like having two liquids with one combination. Yes. So particularly we can use all this chemical treatment to prevent the spoilage of food, but we can use some physical methods also. What are the physical methods we can use to prevent the spoilage of food, or we can prevent the growth of microorganisms? See, we can use heat treatment. So in olden days we can remember, so if you have excess of gravy, you will heat and keep it some time. So we can use heat treatment. Then nowadays we are using cold treatment. We can keep it in the refrigerator. And then irradiation. So we can avoid the radiation by using irradiation, or by radiate we can control the growth of microorganisms. These are the physical methods also used to prevent the spoilage of food. They are called preservatives. Yes, next, antioxidants. From the name itself we can understand, because of oxidation reaction, the food may undergoing several reactions, or it may spoil. Okay, so that oxidation reaction, how it takes place? We are preparing the food by using oil. Oil means, which may call it oil or fat. Because of that oxidation of oil, which undergoing some reactions, because of that reaction they may spoil. So we can prevent the spoilage, or we can keep for sometimes the food by controlling this oxidation reaction of oil fats present in the food. So we can add some chemicals which can control or retard. Retard means which can stop the oxidation reaction, that they are called antioxidants. The chemical or the substance which retard the oxidation of oil fat in the food is called antioxidants. So some examples we will see now. The first one is BHT, butylated BHT, toluene, butylated hydroxydoluene, butyl hydroxydoluene. The other one is PHA, butylated hydroxy acetate compost, anisole. Anisole, what is the molecular formula for anisole? Benzene with the amine group only called anisole. So butylated, which may having some branch with butyl group, means they are called butylated hydroxy anisole, which may have hydroxy group also. These are the two very important antioxidants which controlling the oxidation reaction. See how they are reacting. You may ask how they are controlling this oxidation. See, these are the readily oxidizable compound. It will react with this oil, so it will prevent the chain reaction of oxidation. So it will oxidize with oxygen, oil and fat, which already formed free radicals. So it will stop the same chain reaction. See, if you remember the free radical reaction, you can remember. You can say, see, A, B will give A dot B dot. So free radical formed means it will continue the reaction. So if the antioxidants like PHT or PHA reacting with the free radicals, it will stop the oxidation reaction. So like that, we are using these antioxidants, right? PHT as well as PHA. Some other antioxidants we can use sulfur dioxide, sulfur dioxide, sulfite also. Sulfites, sulfur dioxide we can use as a antioxidants. This is also called enzyme inhibitors, antimicrobials. Then sugar substituents. See, nowadays we are eating more sweet or sweet food, or we are using in various kind. See, we cannot use the same that sugar for all the purpose of preparing the food, right? So for that we need some substituent like sugar. They are called sugar substituents. See, what is sugar substituent? Instead of sugar we can use some other material which also giving the sweetening or which also acting as a sweetening agent. See, sucrose, glucose, usually we are saying the sweet, that means sugar. Instead of that we can use sorbitol, mannitol, xylitol, some of the sugar substituent. But very important thing, it is not undergoing some reaction with the insulin, because normally the sugar patients may have the problem because of loss of or less secretion of insulin, right? So if you use this sugar, you don't want to involve the reaction with insulin. That's why they are sugar free sweetening agent, we can call it. Okay, that means which is not need insulin for the metabolic reaction. This is very important. Okay, then artificial sweetening agent. This is also another type of a sweetening agent, artificial. Sorry. Artificial sweetening agent. See, what is artificial sweetening agent? See, the previous one, instead of sugar we used some other chemical without need of insulin. Here we are going to use some similar compound but which needs insulin, but it will not give any nutrition value. That means if you eat anything, we must get some energy from that by taking some reactions or some minerals or proteins, vitamins, but which that artificial sweetening agent will not give any nutrient value. That kind of sugar substituents are called artificial sweetening agents. Example for that, saccharin. Saccharin powder you may hear, ice creams they are using, aspartame. These are the examples for artificial sweetening agents. Next we are going to learn the interesting topic, that is cleansing agent. What do you mean cleansing agent? If you want to clean, we want to use some chemical, they are called cleaning agents. See, in the cleaning agent we can have two types. Usually one is soaps, another one is detergent. What is the difference between the soap and detergents? See, their reactivity, their components all are different. See, soap, it is nothing but sodium salt of higher fatty acid. This is important, right? Sodium salt of higher fatty acid. Detergents, instead of sodium we can use potassium also. Potassium salt of higher fatty acid or sodium salt of higher fatty acid. What are the things made up of? Detergents. Detergents is nothing but sodium salt of alkyl hydrogen sulfates. See, sulfate compound with sodium salt, or it may have sodium salt of benzo sulfonic acid, benzene sulfonic acid. See, with benzene group there is sulfonic SO3H group, sulfonic acid group, right? See, definitions also important. Now we are going to learn about soap, right? How soaps are reacting. This is very important. That is called cleansing action of a soap. Separate question. Now the general details about soap we will learn now. See, actually the soap is made up of higher fatty acids like glycerides, okay, which made up of vegetable oils or animal oil, animal fats. So animal fat or vegetable oils are used to prepare soaps by making the reaction with having glycerides. These two having glyceride. Glyceride is treated with the hydroxy solution like sodium hydroxide solution. If you heat that, you will get soap with glycerol. This reaction you may study in hydroxy derivatives compound as a saponification reaction. That reaction already we have studied in previous lesson, right? See, here we need to apply the common salt. What is common salt? Sodium chloride is common salt. We can use as a emulsifier. We can get more amount of soap as a precipitate by using sodium chloride. This is the method of preparation of soap from vegetable animal oil, saponification reaction, emulsifier, sodium chloride. Now, how will you measure the quality of soap? Total fatty acid or matter. Simple form TFM. This is important. From the TFM value only we can measure the quality of soap, right? See, the quality means total fatty matter. How much fatty acids are present? That quantity only we can say TFM. The TFM value is greater the TFM value, the soap becoming high quality. TFM value low means low quality. For example, the TFM value is more than 76%. Am I right? Yes. They are called grade 1 soap. Suppose the TFM value becoming 70% means grade 2. 76, 60% means they are grade 3 soap. In case less than 60% fatty matter is present means they are called another name like leather soap or some other name also we have. Along with that, we should measure the quality. So based on the quantity of TFM, we can measure the quality of the soap. Next, cleaning action of soap. This is also very important. Action of soap. See, usually all soaps having some higher fatty acid with two different ends. This is important. For example, we can take it here, sodium fulminate, right? If you take which having 2N, or we can say dual polar nature, What do you mean polar nature? The compound having positive and negative on n, which having some charge difference, we will say polar, which having dual, one side non-polar, another side polar. Usually the soaps having like this long chain with fatty acid. Fatty acid means they are having acid functional group, right? So one N, that organic N is called non-polar N. This is polar N. The non-polar N also called hydrophobic. The polar N is called hydrophilic. What do you mean hydrophobic? Water repelling group, or which will not dissolve or solve in water, but it will soluble in oil like organic compound like oil or grease, right? But this group will solve in water, not soluble in oil or grease, right? So single soap component having two different ends. Because of this N, what will happen? This non-polar hydrophobic group will soluble in the oil grease. Where we will get the oil and grease? What is dirt? Dirt is nothing but the dust particle with the oil component, right? So we want to remove this oil component from the clothes. We can clean the cloth, right? For that, see, this group, this hydrophilic group will dissolve with this oil or grease, but other negative group, other end of this soap is highly soluble with water. It is soluble with water. One end reacting with water, another end reacting with the oil. So oil and water will not mix each other, so they will form drop like, it will form drop like structure. How? The one end, the non-polar end, is reacting with grease, the other end reacting with water. Here we have negative, that is nothing but COO minus group. This drop like structure is formed. This is nothing but missiles. So because of this missile formation, if you wash this missile, or it will form like small dots, drops, that will wash with plenty of water, so that group is removed from the clothes. So that reaction is called cleansing action of soap. This missile formation may not form large compound. For example, you told, sir, that small drop, so one by one it will add. We may get the big size of particles or big size of missile. No, because outer side we have negative part, so if you create another one missile, it will repel each other, so easily we can wash it away. This is the chemical process takes place during the cleaning of clothes by using soap, right? Next we are going to see about detergents. It's also very easy. Detergents, right? See, what is detergent? Already I told you the definition. It's common salt of sodium salt of alkyl hydrogen sulfate. Sodium salt of alkyl hydrogen sulfate, or you can use the other compounds also. One example for detergent, right? So the detergent, how they are reacting, which also having three different types. One is anionic detergents. Anionic means negative. Then cationic. Then non-ionic. So no cation, no anion. So positive, negative, neutral. So by using these different detergents, we can used in the cleaning action. These different types also because of different chemical compounds like sodium lauryl sulfate, that is also called SDS, then hexaacetyl tetramethyl ammonium chloride. The last one is pentatetraethyl citrate. Like different chemical compounds produce different detergents. Thank you.